Hello and welcome to QuestLore, a family Lorcana podcast where each and every week we come and talk to you about all things Lorcana. Welcome to the podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Malcolm.
I'm Emily. And I'm Jen.
And this week it's going to be a packed episode as Matt and Jen, myself and my wife, are back home from Chicago, where we actually played Lorcana. We didn't just go and visit. And then also big news from the Lorecast this week. So lots to talk about. But let's start with how we always start with talking about how we played last week. So from the last episode that we recorded, we had played the had we played? Yes, we had played that one day and all that game.
Yeah, we really podcast on our ride to the airport.
Right, yes. Our ride to the airport showed up while we were recording. So yes, we only play that we've had what came from the Disney Lorcana Challenge in Chicago. Now, the boys weren't able to play this past weekend, so you'll just have to listen to Mom and Dad talk about all of the games that we played. I think I counted total, if you count like the intentional buys and stuff, I played 18 games of Lorcana, and Jen, I think you went with 15 games of Lorcana overall. So a lot of Lorcana was played. So quick recap. So we got there on Friday night, checked in, got my Flotsam and Jetsam card as a reminder. So I was doing the competitor stuff. Jen, you were there for as an attendee.
I just had an attendee badge,
Yep. So we got there. We met up some people that go to the same local store as we do. Did some play testing, playing against people.
Got some dinner first.
Yeah, got some dinner first.
Yeah.
Definitely did dinner. Did some play testing. I think we kind of went into this ballroom that was not set aside for Lorcana. That was definitely set aside for something else.
Like something must have happened that morning there.
No, there were people in there the next day too.
Oh, well, but during the day. Like it wasn't like a nighttime use. And we just said, you know what? Nobody's here right now. I think we can play in here. And then like a whole bunch of other people followed us in.
Yeah,
so.
And we kind of started a whole break into that room. And there was a lot of people that was just kind of getting in and starting to play. And we were all just play testing. It was really fun. We were playing against the same people from the store, just kind of.
Well, I also played against some other people because I was kind of the odd one out. Because everybody, so everybody had a partner with them except for one person. But I figured it would be better to let Matt play rather than me, since he was going to be competing. And then some other people joined in and said, hey, like, I don't have anyone to play if anybody wants to play me. So I actually got to play with people that I'd never met before, which was pretty cool.
Yep. And so then we practiced a couple of games, and then going into the morning, got started right away. There was like a players meeting beforehand. I got a little nervous during the players meeting because when I sat down right across from one of the bigger streamers of the game. Like the guy's really good. He's a big time like influencer. And there, my first time sitting down in the hall was against him, was right across from him. Like, oh, cool. Fortunately, that for your players meeting. So if you guys go to a future one, you have a players meeting at the beginning. You're just set in alphabetical order. I didn't know the guy's name. I only know his Twitch handle, Vonderland. So I just knew him from the Twitch handle. So I didn't realize we were in alphabetical order because, that's not my name. Doesn't start with a V. So I got nervous right away, but fortunately that wasn't the case. So we had a quick players meeting. They made some changes for the DLC, where the competitors that were playing actually were able to get tickets depending on how many points you got. Emmett, you got a question for me, buddy?
No, he's just being silly.
I'm doing.
He's doing weird hand motions.
Sign language.
It's not sign language.
Nope, definitely not sign language. Just weird signs that kids make. So and then we got right to playing. I was playing the Ruby Sapphire ramp deck. That was my choice for the day. Overall, I didn't make it to the second day, but I was able to get over the 30-point threshold to get the max amount of tickets that you could get that you could then take to the prize wall. So I was able to get the 20 tickets, which was enough to get a Rapunzel just right off the prize wall.
So what were the other levels that they had? Since anyone who maybe just went to Atlanta but didn't go to Chicago weren't able to do this, what were so how did you, so just to review how you get points, it was a 2-game format. If you won a game, you got 3 points. If you lost a game, you got 0 points. But then if you happened to win both games, then you got an extra point. So you got 7 points if you won both games. And it was always one game you were on the play and one game you were on the draw.
Yep. It's a long day. It's 9 rounds of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's time in between while they're working through people in turns and getting pairings up for the next round. So it's
There's
a long
little
day,
bit
right?
of melee issues as well.
A little bit, but nothing terrible.
Nothing terrible. It didn't shut down completely. I just felt like it happened. I know it happened down by us. At the attendee side games where just pairings were taking longer than they should have.
That's the one thing that seemed to take forever.
Like they were in the system and ready to go, and melee just wasn't pushing them out like it was supposed to.
Yeah, because I mean, we started playing at 9, and like the final matches didn't end until 9.
And really, it wouldn't have ended until 10 that you buyed on your last round.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
So a buy, there's a point in each tournament where both you and your opponent, because you're always going to face someone that has essentially the same record as you. There's a chance that you're on the bubble, so you face someone that is 1 point higher, 1 point lower, but most of the time you're going to face someone that has the same record as you. So when I went 1-1 my first round, so I had 3 points. So I went with someone else. I played against someone else in the second round that had 3 points. So you're just going to face people that have the same number of points as you do. At the end of the tournament, right, there's only so many more points you can get. So by the end of the day, I knew I wasn't going to make enough points to get to the second day. So was my opponents. They weren't going to be able to make enough to the second day either. We were going to be able to make enough to get over the 30-point threshold. There were 3 thresholds at 10, 20, and 30 points. And if you break each of those thresholds, you got more tickets. I think after 10, you got 6. After 20, you got 14. After 10, after 30, you get 20. I don't remember if those are the exact numbers. They will explain it to you in case they decide to change things because this was brand new for Chicago. So at the last games, it was kind of like, we were asking each other if we wanted to basically split, where we would go 1-1, so we each get 3 points, put us over that mark to get over 30 points, instead of one of us risking it all just to get more points when we're definitely not going to make it. Because after 7 rounds, the highest number of points I could get was 40, and you'd need 43, 44 points to get to the second day.
Yeah.
So there was no reason for us to play and risk it. We'd rather just all get the tickets. So at that point, we're drawing. So yeah, it was a long, long day waiting for the pairings, going and playing. I felt like I did pretty well.
And when you played, what I think your record was about half and half.
Most of the time, I 2-0'd 2 people,
right?
And I got 0-2'd once.
Sure.
That was probably the only time where I was like, what am I even doing here? What's going on? I mean, I know it felt bad to lose, but I lost to a Bucky deck, where basically both games I didn't have any cards left in my hand at turn 4. And it's one thing to lose. I don't have a problem losing. At least I like to think I don't have a problem losing. But when you lose and you don't even kind of get to play, that feels really bad.
Yeah.
And that's what it kind of felt like. There was one where like I was able to work myself up to 7 ink, and maybe if I would have top decked to be prepared, I could have fought my way back in it. But like that was my only hope, was to top deck from the last 45 cards in my hand, one of the 3 copies of Be Prepared in it. So that was going to be pretty difficult. So, but that's how it goes. And this is the first time I've done anything like this at this size, so I was super happy with that. Jen, you were playing side events all day. How did you like them?
I played side events all day on Saturday. Even though it was a little bit disappointing because they ended all of the side events like pretty early. So you did have to sign up for some of the things ahead of time, and they like went like that. Like I was able to get into a 10 a.m. event that was a sealed event, which meant we got 6 packs of sealed cards, had to come up with a 40 or more card deck out of those 6 packs. The colors not matter. And then I ended up going 1 and 2 for that. So not super great with that one, but it was still fun to play. And then like immediately after that, because again there was a lot of delay in getting pairings and things like that, and delay in like the judges not always like making sure to keep people on track with their turns when the timer ran out. So I didn't even really get like a break to eat. Like I was lucky Matt got a break and brought me food.
Yeah.
Because then at 2 p.m. I had just a regular constructed deck tourney, which that one I also went 1 and 2. Um, but at least with that one, I felt like the two both of the matches that I lost, I did lose 1 and 2. Like it was 1 and 1. We went to the third game, um, and it was really close every time. So and I'd much rather play like that and lose, um, you know, any day. Like I love when it's an actual like close game.
Yeah, for sure.
Just frustrating to lose to a 12-year-old at one point who got 2 Queen's Castles out on me.
Yes.
Twice.
Yep.
And that is why I lost.
I thought you were talking about me.
Castle has been a menace all weekend to those
Yes.
playing against it.
But then it was frustrating because once that was over at 5 o'clock, that was it. There was nothing else for any of the attendees to do. Like all of the events, so I didn't get to do any of the events that they had kind of ongoing, on demand events. So they had on demand drafts, I think.
Yes.
And then is that all they had on
in
demand?
the on-demand starter deck.
Oh, the starter decks, which I was not interested at all. But I couldn't do any of those on Saturday, because everything ended before I could do them. So that was kind of frustrating because after 5 p.m. I kind of didn't have anything to do, so I just kind of ate dinner by myself, kind of hung out in the room, and then I had to wait for Matt to be done with his tournament. So, I would hope that in the future that that they would at least have events later. I did hear that it was partially a staffing issue, that they didn't get staffing to host later events.
Sure.
And because they did have the room open at 7.
Yeah, but I mean, they didn't start any events until 10.
Right, but it seems like they should have had 2 shifts worth of people.
Yeah,
on
but
there, like a 7 to 3 shift and then a 3 to 10 shift.
Yeah, it's hard. All these people that they hire are essentially contractors
Yep.
for that particular event. So it's difficult for them to make sure they know what they're staffing, and they still probably aren't sure what they're actually looking for. So
Sure.
we ended the second day with pizza.
Yes.
And then, I'm sorry, we ended the first day with pizza, then headed straight into the second day. The next morning, I went down to the prize wall, claimed my tickets for the last day, grabbed ourselves a Rapunzel and Cinderella promo cards, just because we were looking at the events, and the events that are on demand, you get much fewer tickets for than the events where you're signed up. And we weren't able to sign up for any on Sunday.
No.
So we didn't really think we were going to get enough to be able to get the Cinderella playmat. So we were slightly wrong on that. By the end of the day. So a few things happened, right? So when I go down and I get our promos, and then I see, oh look, they're starting signups for the draft pods early. So I'm like, well, I should go sign up for those so that we're first
still
in
in
line.
bed at this time.
Yeah, Jen's still in bed, figuring, oh, they're gonna start them at 10 o'clock. They're not gonna start them right
at
then.
9. We thought at 9.
Yeah, they were gonna start at 9, so I can sign up now. It's like 7:30 in the morning, and we'll just be in the first one. Awesome, right? Turns out, no, they're just gonna start them right then. So I get back up to the room, and then I get an announcement on Discord saying, starter, draft pod, C3 is starting in 2 minutes. I'm like, oh no, we gotta go. So we go down, we head down, we draft, and then both of us
barely made it. They were walking the group back to the table.
Yeah, we barely made it at all because they changed that time. So we run, we do the draft. We both immediately lose. That's the problem with the on-demand stuff, is that it's like single elimination. So you're going to pay for the cards, pay to do the draft, sit there and do the draft, and then if you lose, boom, you're out. So
you still got to keep the cards.
Yes, we have to keep the cards, and it was fine.
But we were looking for tickets.
We were looking for more tickets.
We wanted the tickets, and we did not pull any enchanted.
So it was slightly disheartening, but it did allow us.
We did pull some legendaries, yes.
Like what?
Well, we'll talk about that. Let's finish talking about what we did today, and then we'll talk about.
I don't fully remember what legendaries we pulled. If I'm being honest, damn it.
I know you got the Diablo during the second draft.
Yeah, during
which
the
we're going
seal
to talk
part.
about.
Yeah.
Or the seal, right.
But being eliminated did allow us to go and pack and finish closing up the room and get breakfast and all that. So bright side. But it did leave us feeling a little disheartening. Like I don't know how much longer we're going to do this because it's not cheap to draft, and we're just going to keep getting knocked out. We're like looking at the villainous stuff, and we love villainous.
We love villainous.
So there was a thought of being able to play some villainous competitively. Sounds fun, but the way they've got it set up is just really weird. The first game you're going to play is a four-player game, and you're going to be randomly assigned one of the villains from that Introduction to Evil like re-release that they did. And while that seems all right, like there is clearly one of those villains, Prince John, that is much easier to win with than the others.
And one that's way harder.
Yeah.
Ursula.
Yeah, Ursula. I mean, Ursula is much harder. So if you get randomly assigned Ursula, it's going to be much harder than if you got randomly assigned Prince John.
Wait, was Quitter Fortune Day on?
No.
Because that would be
We've said no.
No.
So no. She's not there. And with a four-player game, like how long have some of our games lasted that are four-player?
like, over 3 hours.
Yeah, and we're like seasoned villainous players. There are going to be a bunch of beginners like trying to learn to figure out what they're doing. So we were looking at that, but we're like, man, that's just going to be our entire day if we do that for sure. That's our entire day. So
we decided
we were like, I don't think we're going to do that. Fortunately, on our way back to the game room, I was refreshing the Melee page, and a spot opened up for the sealed event that was starting in about
an hour,
45 minutes or an hour. So I was able to get into that really quick. I checked Jen's phone; it's still open for her, so she got into it really quick.
Yeah.
So we were both able to jump in on that, which was awesome.
Which is awesome because then again, more tickets are available for those. Everybody for the pre-register events, everybody automatically gets 4 tickets.
Yeah.
Where for the on-demand events, everybody only gets 1 ticket.
And the max you can end up winning from that is like 19 tickets or something. And I don't remember the exact math. I know I got 7 for 19. No, you get 2. I think 17 because you get 2 with them, and then it's 4 for each win, 7 if you go 3-0.
It was 4 at start and then 4 per game.
Okay.
4 per, yeah.
Don't quote us on these anyway. They may change them for the next challenge in Dallas or over in Europe. I don't remember which one's first. Anyways, we were able to sign up for that, and then while we were like, I don't know, what should we do for the next hour? We look and see that the developers are actually playing people over on the side.
Yeah, that was really cool.
So there was like a line that was kind of starting to form.
There were like 2 people ahead of us.
Yes.
And then the line, like word got out and the line formed behind us.
Yeah. So basically what you could do, you could play the developer in Constructed. And if you win them and beat them in Constructed, they were giving you some of the promos from the past sets that didn't get given out a lot because they weren't in a whole lot of, they were only given out at conventions. And like one of them, like the Pinocchio from set 2 was only given out at like one convention. Not that one. That's the one that I use in my deck that exerts a character. It's like $100 card because it was only given out at like one convention.
I like my Pinocchio bet.
I know you do, but it wasn't that one.
Nope.
So that's what you get if you beat them in Constructed. The other way you could do it, and it was the only thing that we really had time for because we had to play. We were playing
the sealed
event right after, right? Was a 2-deck or 2-pack format, or I don't remember what that.
They called it a 2-pack format. It was super, super fun. Like I loved it personally. So basically, what happened is you would open up your 2 packs, and then the 2 puzzle piece cards turned into ink. Like you started the game off with 2 ink automatically. But then you were not allowed to look at what were in your 2 packs. So it was a complete mystery to you. And when we played, they were giving us 1 pack from set 1 and 1 pack from set 2, which was kind of cool. So, and then you shuffle up the rest, and then you draw only 5 cards in your hand instead of 7 cards. But then the rest of the rules are the same. You can still mulligan. You can still roll to see who goes first and things like that. But then you don't know what's in your deck until you pick it.
The one person that gets an enchanted.
Yeah, that would have been pretty nuts. And then you play up to 15 lore.
Yeah, 15
and
instead
if
of 20.
you run out of cards in your deck, you just shuffle your discard back up and play it. So we played that with them.
It was super fun.
It was really a lot of fun. It's worth giving a try if you have it. And then we got to keep all the cards that they drew. So we basically got 8 packs of cards. 4 of which is first chapter, 4 from the second set. So I know we got a Rockstar Stitch. We got some of the Flynn Rider.
We got the Legendary Alice.
The Legendary Alice from set 2. So so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. So definitely look for some of that on the side if you are going to a Disney Lorcana challenge. So then after that, we played the seal event. I know the big card I got from that was the Diablo, the legendary Diablo. So that immediately went into my deck, and then I never saw it again. I immediately never saw it during any of the games I played.
And I got the legendary King Triton that wasn't it? Or no,
Yeah,
was it?
Yeah, you got to
And
try.
which I did not even put into
No.
my deck because
No,
it's
it's a good
not.
choice.
What does the
It's not.
toilet even do?
No one cares.
It was not.
No
It's
one
not
cares.
worth it for. I don't even remember.
It's
It's like 9 ink.
It's a 9 cost inkable. I think he might shift on something.
But I didn't have
It does
any other
something
things, so-
with locations.
He does ink.
He yells at his daughters. That's what he does. He blocks them and disapproves of men in
Yes.
general. That's
But
what he does. That's what it says on the
Anyway,
card.
I put them in. I put them in a sleeve and I put them away. I didn't even play them.
Yeah.
But
So-
anyway, so Matt ended up going. So won the first game.
Yep.
I lost, and then he won his second match.
Yep.
And I lost. And then right as the second match was ending, they're like they're calling for the next sealed event, which apparently like 3/4 of the people playing our sealed event also signed up for that sealed event, even
Yep.
though they were only 3 hours apart. Like
Yeah.
they forgot
Seal
that
takes 4.
they give you they had sealed takes 4 because they give you 45 minutes to open your cards and make your deck. So both of us ended up getting a free win for our third game.
Yeah,
And-
I get that you gotta do the seal thing, like you've already paid for it, but I'm like also, man, you're giving up a chance of 7 tickets.
Yeah.
For me at least, like
Right.
and me, like I sat down and the person came up and was like, "Hey, are you in the next seal event?" I'm like, "Nope, this is it for me." You're like, "Oh, well, guess you get 7 tickets. Have fun." I don't know why, like the person sitting next to me, it was the exact same situation where one person was sitting down, he's like, "I'm not playing in the next event." The other person was like, "Well, I am. Can we just roll and split the tickets?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine." I wouldn't agree to that. Like, they're the one that have to leave.
Yeah.
I get being, like being friendly and everything, but those tickets are basically worth about $10 a piece,
Yep.
essentially.
Some
at
people
this
were
point.
selling them for more than that.
Yeah. So I.
Well,
But-
see, on my end though, like right, we were already 0-2. So at that point, I would have been fine splitting the tickets. I wouldn't have cared. But
Sure.
in your case, you were going to get an extra 3 tickets.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
For 7 tickets, that's quite a bit.
Like, yeah.
So we're feeling pretty good, and then Ravensburger or PPG, the company that's running kind of the event, makes another announcement and finally gives us what we really wanted, which was on-demand constructed play. Like
Yeah.
we've all come with these decks we've constructed that we've practiced with that we want to play with. That's what we want to play with. That's what we want to play. And finally, they at the last 2 hours of the thing, they said, "Okay, you got it, on-demand constructed." So Jen and I look at our tickets, we're like, well, as long as this wins one game,
Yeah, as long as we
have enough to get like another Cinderella.
another Cinderella and Rapunzel.
Yeah, we'll have enough to get another Cinderella and a Rapunzel. So let's go sign up. Maybe we'll at least win one.
We ended up taking the whole thing.
Yeah. We ended up,
They put us in because there was like 2 separate couples, so they were kind enough to put the couples into different brackets.
Yep.
And I won my bracket and he won his bracket. And so at the end of the day, like
walked out with
we walked out with 17
more
tickets.
Yeah, so
Because-
that was a good investment to go and do that.
Because first place got 11 tickets because you got 10 plus the 1 for participating, and
Yeah.
second place got 6 tickets, 5 plus the 1 for participating. So
Yeah.
we're at the end of we didn't even play our third game because it's like it's just us and we got a flight to catch. So
Yeah.
can
You're
we
like,
just
"Oh,
get our
Here you
ticket?
go. Here's your tickets.
And we ended up getting a second set of the promo cards and had enough extra that we got a really cool hat too. So
So I believe we're like one of only 5 owners of that hat. Because no one's gotten the hat. Very few people get the hat and get the shirts and stuff, right? Because they're like, well, I'm going to get the cards to sell them. So the hat, people are like wondering, well, look, wait a minute, how much does this hat go for? Because it's never been sold.
But the thing is, it's not. I don't think it's that nobody's selling it. I think that people like want it, so they're just keeping it. They're not even bother trying to selling it.
The things people are going to go and get. They're going to go get the things
Uh-huh.
that they know they can either sell or that they really want, which
Sure.
are the cards, right? There's a good chance those hats and shirts go on sale at some point, like legit, that you can just go up and
That's
buy
true.
them. So,
And I mean, we could have found a seller for our 9 extra
yeah,
tickets,
sure.
but we had or 8 extra tickets or
12.
whatever, 12 extra tickets. Like we just had 12 extra tickets, and I'm like, well, that's exactly how much a hat is, and I know that our kids would love to have that hat.
Kid.
Yes, that's true. Only
Malcolm loves
Malcolm
hats,
would love
so.
it. So we got the hat. It seems to be priceless because no one sold it.
Priceless.
Priceless hat.
That's
Priceless
what it
hats.
is. It's priceless.
And then we got out of there and headed back to the airport and headed home. So a busy, crazy weekend of Lorcana. At the end of the day, Jen, would you say it's worth going to?
Oh, 100% absolutely. It was super fun. And I mean, like I said, winning is great, and I'm really glad that we won out on our last event, especially a constructed event. Made me feel like really good, especially because that first day I didn't win so much, even though I was close. So that was pretty awesome, and I would definitely do it again. And we had talked about potentially trying to take these guys with us to Toronto, and I think that it would be super fun if all four of us could do that.
What do you think, boys? After listening to us yammer on for 20 minutes about the Disneyland challenge in Disney Lorcana Challenge in Chicago, what do you think?
Sounds like I want to go.
Yeah. Do you guys want to compete?
Would you guys think you'd want to do the competing, or do you think you'd rather do the side events?
I think probably the side events. I don't think I'm just not a good enough player to be competing in a whole tournament.
Well, but again, even if you do the tournament, you can still do side events the whole second day. And there were other kids. I mean, we heard there were people brand new to the game who were doing the tournament.
Yeah, there
was plenty of people who won 0 games the whole time.
Yeah,
so.
you're like, I've never played before. Like, okay, let's go.
Absolutely gets
So we're looking forward to getting some regular stuff back in, though, this weekend.
Yep.
Our regular store isn't having regular constructed because we play on Sundays, and Sunday is Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.
Especially this dad over here.
Thanks. And they're not going to play regular on Sunday, but they are going to do a chaos type draft on Saturday, where you get a pack from 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that will be fun and interesting to do. And then hopefully next week we'll find some time to play some regular constructed. And then, it's getting set to ramp up to the next set of championships in July for the Ursula's Return Championship event.
Ursula has returned last May.
That's true. It was last May, and now that Ursula's Return is out in the big box stores, you can get it at Best Buy, you can get it at the Walmart, you can get it at the Target. It's time to throw that old stuff back in the garbage.
Before anybody says everything, Inside Out 2 comes out tomorrow, if anybody's interested.
Oh, okay.
Were you inviting them?
Like
the theaters?
I was throwing away Ursula's Return.
Oh,
okay.
That's Lumiere. He's got one card in that set. I mean,
wait, Lumiere has a card in Ursula's Return?
Yes, it is a 2-drop 2/2 in Ruby. What are you doing? That's my Mickey. He's only got one card in it too.
Well, who has more cards?
Ursula.
On this table.
No one.
Gaston has one card.
I know. You want to know who doesn't have cards? Oswald.
Yeah, I know. Unless it's the Lorecast.
Okay. Anyways, so there was a Lorecast just yesterday as we were recording this. I have watched it. These guys have not, so they will be reacting to everything as it comes up. Guys, so I can't hide the title of the stuff. So there isn't a whole lot covered in Lorecast except for the next set. That is pretty much all that was covered in this one. So if you want to know the title of it, keep your eyes open. If you want to wait until they reveal it, close your eyes because I can't hide it on the YouTube video. So let me get this playing and we will...
Tell us when you can open it.
Just hold on. Oh, go ahead, open it. So we've got...
I just saw the fire lizard.
Yep, there's Prince Naveen. It seems to be a celebration. We are celebrating the defeat of Ursula. All of our Disney characters and all sorts of stuff. Mickey Mouse is slinging ketchup. Hades versus Hercules in an arm wrestling match. We zoom in on a concert stage, and it is Gazelle. It is time for Shakira to enter Lorcana. There's Martin in the background waiting to screw something else up. Gazelle, Penelope here. Oh, something falls from the great illuminary.
Was it?
Some kind of column. Penelope blames Wreck-It Ralph It is not Wreck-It Ralph. He's down here.
Oh,
Manu Merlin's there. He is looking to see what's going on, and there's something with the badge of the Amber type medallion. We zoom in and we kind of go. He's pointing everyone to go up there, so he's making those 3 people up there. Basil's looking for stuff. Martin is looking for hey, where can I cause chaos? Kronk and Sleepy are guarding a door. Basil's looking for answers. He finds a secret chamber.
Kronk and Sleepy.
And then Martin and Basil are looking, and they find the amulet that Merlin was pointing them to.
Is that Kronk?
Kronk's there. Sleepy's probably just sleeping. Yep, he's there, sleeping. We zoom in on this special thing that has a piece of the Hexwell crown that we talked about during the lore from last time. We zoom back down. And now Martin, wearing the medallion, it has given him courage, like the Cowardly Lion, to get up on stage and rock out and hopefully not break everything. Let's see. He plays.
Did he break everything?
He plays. Everybody's happy.
What?
It's a celebration of Lorcana. We've got shimmering lights all up in the skies for Shimmering Skies.
Ooh.
The next chapter in Lorcana.
Shimmering Skies. Oh, hey, Wreck-It Ralph characters is cool though.
There's already. Oh, okay. I mean, there's one. Oh.
So yeah, what does it look like, Dad?
So, Shimmering Skies is the next set coming out August 9th.
August 9th.
August 9th.
I'm excited.
Yeah, coming very soon. Shimmering Skies is the 5th set for Lorcana. We've got this motif of shimmering skies all above.
Wait, are we finally gonna get a Martin card?
Maybe the Luminaires that have been Jumanji'd into Lorcana are ripe for cards. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see them sooner or later.
And plus, Martin has saying a text on one of the 3 cards.
Mm-hmm.
Martin should, his special ability should be destroy everything. All items get destroyed.
Yeah, just ruin Lorcana. All cards become Bucky. So let's take a look at some of the stuff they announced with it. So first up, we've got our starter decks.
Oh, okay.
It's Ruby and Amethyst featuring.
Wait, is that a Pixar character?
No, it's Ralph and Elsa over on Ruby and Amethyst, and then Emerald and Steel featuring Scar and a version of Kronk.
I just want to say that Elsa is the Frozen 2 Elsa because she's got like the little diamonds.
Yep. The diamonds, cool.
Like,
so
the
we've got
elements.
2 for. So it's interesting. These are like the two of the most popular deck combinations.
But not the way they're supposed to be played, I'm sure.
No, I'm sure these are different ones. So let's take a look what else they had here. So here's a look at the cover of the Trove. We've got Vanellope.
Oh my God, look at that
Donald!
Maui, and yes, Donald Duck getting ready to throw a pie.
I love it.
Baker Donald.
Here's our
so
Trove.
much.
This set. It does come with the dice again, with the lore counter, and with
Donald! Step like that! Hurry up!
yes.
Donald.
And it comes with the ink color separators again. So, then we've got 2 things. The portfolios, right? So
Tiana sleeves.
yes, they have Tiana. So let's talk about the sleeves then. So we've got Tiana sleeves and the Heroic Outlaw Aladdin sleeves from set 1. They also have sleeves that have the backing
of the
Lorcana
That
card.
is very nice.
So
they were
very
high
cool.
quality.
Yeah, so there still remains to be seen, are these worth the money to put your cards into and for them to break the first time you use them. We don't know if they've improved the quality at all, but they did put ones with the card backing on it, so that's pretty cool.
That's nice.
And then they made these portfolios to come with them. These portfolios are much bigger than the old ones that they used to have. They used to be just like 4 cards per page. These are 9 cards a page. We don't know how many pages yet it has. Hopefully it has enough to hold a full set.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Or even just if it's something that you can take with you for trading or whatever.
Yeah, it's still better than the 4-page mini ones that they had before. And then we've got the booster back, so featuring
Donald on them.
Yep, Donald, Vanellope, and Maui, not the Rock.
The Maui, and looks like
There's Scar and Elsa are on the box too as well. So these are kind of the products that you will see. They also have 2 playmats. I wasn't able to get pictures of those. One is the Belle from set 4, the Enchanting Wizard one.
Nice.
Right. The other is slipping from my memory, and I don't remember it, so sorry.
And
Um,
I need more cards.
new cards? Yeah, we've got that coming up just in a second.
Ooh,
Uh,
Stitch.
They also had, so in place of the gift set or the Illuminator's Quest, this time we have the Lorcana Gateway product, which is basically kind of a learn to play product. So this might be one of the first ones, like things we skip from Lorcana, depending on what's in
Sure.
there.
I
If
like
there
them.
are some alternative cards, maybe we'll pick them up.
I like the
Um,
Mickey.
Yeah, that looks
Well,
like
this could
Detective
be-
Mickey, maybe with some different art on like the Stitch and the Mickey and that Elsa and the Maleficent.
But this would be a great gift.
Yes, so this will be, this and the Illuminator's Quest will both be in stores for Christmas most likely.
Just
So
open it up,
Yeah.
steal the-
this comes out in August, comes out the end of August in big box stores, so that will be on store shelves as you go into the holiday season.
Open it
So,
up, steal the special cards, and then gift it away.
Sure, yeah. This is most of your set. Don't
Yeah.
worry about those things missing. Just ignore them. But it will have like step-by-step how to play, like lead you through the decks themselves and how you're supposed to play them instead of
Like
just
kind
giving
of
the
like the
instructions.
Pokemon card things.
Yes, exactly like those.
Like I remember I would refuse to play without those.
Yep.
What?
They're like Pokemon card, like it teach you exactly what to do and exactly
You
how
order
to.
the deck in a certain way, so
Yeah.
you're always playing the same way. This is kind of like the same thing where the deck will be ordered so that you play in a certain path. Okay, and then cards. So starting off in Amber, we've got Vanellope Von Sheets Super Rush Champ. It's a 1-cost inkable, 2 strength, 2 willpower, quests for 1, so a pretty vanilla card.
I like that.
The other one is Kristoff Reindeer Keeper. It's a 9-cost uninkable, 3 strength, 7 willpower, quests for 3. It's a bodyguard, and then special ability Song of the Herd. For each song card in your discard, you pay 1 ink less to play this character.
I want that card in my deck.
So for a steel song going heavy on songs, this could be good to have 1 or 2 of in your deck.
And it has 7 defense.
I know,
so,
but the problem is it's uninkable, so
Yeah.
you got to be careful because Steel Song already has so many uninkables, especially if you're running lanterns or flutes. So
he's using the reindeers to find armor.
Yep.
Well, there's no flavor text unfortunately on, but you do see those shimmering lights up in the
Yes.
sky. Also worth pointing out, Vanellope Hero. So that's another 1-drop hero for like that hero song.
Oh
that
yeah,
you've been
that's
running,
what it is. And 1-drop heroes are always good.
And then also a new tag for her is Racer.
Oh.
So it's a whole new classification in the game. So we'll see what happens with that.
Interesting.
I don't think of a person who should be a racer. That's
Like
Well-
all the
Well, so
other.
if they ever come out with the juniors, we can have all the Mickey and the Roadster racers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we can see some of the flavor text kind of happening in
Yep.
Kristoff's photos where you got all the little lights in the
Mhm.
background. Clearly the Infinity Stone, so Marvel next. Let's look at some more cards. We're going over to Amethyst.
Broody!
We'll start with Bruni. It's a 4-cost inkable. Bruni, Fire Salamander, 2 strength, 2 willpower. It's evasive. Quests for 2. Special ability, Parting Gift. When this character is banished, you may draw a card. A
That's a
little
nice
expensive
card.
in Amethyst, but
for
it's an
being
evasive.
Evasive and Quest for 2.
Yep. And anytime you can draw a card is
Yep.
great. The other one is Elsa the Fifth Spirit, a 5-cost inkable, strength of 2, willpower 5, quests for 1, has rush, has evasive, special ability crystallize. When you play this character, exert chosen opposing character.
Ooh.
So it is a
It's
supercharged Pinocchio.
Exalt Bucky.
You can't exert Bucky because he has
You have to
war.
choose him. You can't choose him.
Yeah, you can't choose Bucky. But you can use her as a missile to kill Diablo if he's out in turn 5.
Yep.
So
Because she has rush and evasive.
yes, this will be something to watch out for anyone running any type of evasive
Yeah.
deck. Even if you're running the smaller decks, if you got some of the smaller strength, like she comes out, kills them immediately, still survives it, and then you can't touch her because she's evasive.
Yeah,
right?
that's great because I don't think there's many, if any, other cards that have both rush and evasive.
There are a couple. It's the 2 Peter Pans. There's a Peter
Oh,
Pan
right.
Shadow and then Peter Pan Shadow
Right,
Finder.
right.
They also give cards that have rush evasive because it has evasive rush. But then that's a multiple card combo. Those are both
Right.
uninkables. this is an inkable. So this
Yeah.
I would expect
I
this
see
to
this
be
is
one
gonna
of the
find
bigger
play.
cards. Yes.
Yeah, that's gonna find a lot of play.
Yep. I'm just going to spoil it for you now, but there's no Oswald. What we do have are Emerald cards. First up is Scar, a 4-cost inkable, Strength 4, Willpower 2.
With Ward.
It's got Ward. And then the ability Life's Not Fair is it. Whenever one of your cards challenges a damaged character, you may draw a card. So if the card's already damaged, that's any of your characters, so not even his. So you could play this and then have any of your other cards challenge someone.
Yeah, and that's great because you just leave it there. You don't quest with it or anything. You just leave it there so that you can keep card drawing. That's awesome.
And not that Emerald Steel needs anything, but you throw down Tinkerbell or grab your swords and then have one of your characters fight into it. They're damaged already, so.
Right.
And then the other one is You're Welcome, a song. It's 4-cost. It's inkable. Shuffle chosen character, item, or location into their player's deck. Then that player draws 2 cards. So you can do it on yourself if you need cards to draw, or if your opponent has a pesky dime out and you're tired of Tamatoa, keep bringing it back when you've destroyed it. Get rid of that dime and put it into its deck. Tamatoa can't bring it back anymore. They have to draw it.
Wow.
So that has some
Or you can do that.
there.
Yeah. The only thing you can't do that with is anything with Ward. Because you have to choose.
Right, so you can't do a character, right? But you
No,
can
it
do any
says
item.
shuffle chosen character.
Right, yes, you can't choose a warded character,
Yes,
but you
a
can
warded
do any item
character.
or location.
So it doesn't get rid of Bucky, but
No.
it could get rid of any nasty character out there.
Yep.
It could get rid of or an item, like you said. So that's kind of cool. Or if they've got a Queen's Castle out there and you want to get rid of it.
It is some removal for green. Sings. You can have people sing it at 4, so you can have rabbits singing this. You can have
Snake is 4.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah. The Jafar snake
is
4 and steel.
That's what I was.
So there is a lot of potential there. That Flynn Rider, if the person has cards in hand and he's not doing anything because he can't quest, he could sing it. So there is a lot of potential for this card too.
Yeah.
Up next, we're back over to Ruby.
Ooh, more racers.
So Wreck-It Ralph clearly got a lot of love in this set. We are going to go through a lot of Wreck-It Ralph cards. The first one is Taffeta Mutton Fudge, crowd favorite. 1-drop inkable, strength of 1, willpower 2, quest for 1, special ability Showstopper. When you play this character, if you have a location to play, each opponent loses 1 lore.
There's gonna be racetracks as characters.
I'm sure
or
there
as
will
locations. There's gotta be, right?
You have a racer at this location.
Yeah.
This happens.
This is a pretty bad call. I feel like the 2-drop should have been the. I feel like the special ability for the 2-drop.
No, because the 2-drop quest.
No,
because the quest.
Should have been the 2-drop.
I disagree because the 2-drop quest for 2, and that's awesome to have a 2-drop the quest for 2 that has a 2/2. That's no. I think that's a good ability.
But
but
I know you can play it on turn 1, but you can play it on turn. You can play multiple on turn 2, or make multiple on turn 3.
Yeah, and remember, the character doesn't need to move to the location.
It just has to be there.
Just has to have location to play. Doesn't have to be there.
Yeah.
So the other card is Taffeta Mutton Fudge, Ruthless Rival, 2-cost inkable, strength 2, willpower 2, quest for 2. So just a quick early quester that Ruby can throw out there. Ruby has been getting more aggressive with set 4 and looks like it's going to continue that way into set 5. More
another Taffeta
cards. Taffeta Mutton
and a
Fudge,
shift.
A Sour Speedster, 4-cost inkable, strength 3, willpower 3, shifts for 2, quest for 1, special ability, new roster. Once per turn, when this character moves to a location, gain 2 lore.
Ooh.
So there's your kind of.
But I notice how they have it once per turn now.
Yes.
They're learning from their past mistakes.
Yes. So here, just once per turn, you can gain 2 lore on it. She is joined by Vanellope von Schweetz. 4-cost, uninkable, random roster racer, 3 strength, 3 willpower, has rush, quest for 2, and special ability Pixelia. When you play this character, she gains evasive until the start of your next turn. So it's a 4-cost evasive they can throw down that can take out
with rush.
Almost any other evasive that has already been played that game if they're exerted. So that is a definitely a missile that will be used probably against Bucky. Not Bucky. I'm sorry. Diablo.
Yep. For sure.
Looking at the next
Also like thinking, I mean, there's a lot of other little evasives that people throw out too. What'd you do?
I went too far.
Oh no.
Oh, so that's their names.
So Rancis Fluggerbutter and Snow Anna Rainbow.
Yeah, so Rancis, Fluggerbutter, Chocolate Charger, a 4-cost inkable, 4 strength, 4 willpower, quest for 1.
It's a pretty big card for a 4.
That's
Four
about where
drop.
you would expect it to be.
Okay.
If it's going to quest only for 1.
Oh sure.
And then a 3-cost uninkable Snowana Rainbow, cool competitor, strength of 2, willpower 4, has rush, quest for 1. So another quick card that you can throw out there to strike at people. A lot of stuff that can be used against Bucky. Like all of a sudden the tools for Ruby to get rid of, not Bucky, Diablo,
Yeah.
has increased quite a bit.
Yeah.
She has rush, so she can't take
She's
out.
not evasive.
But there were a few other evasives back there.
Who's Turbo?
So Turbo, Royal Hack, a 2-cost uninkable, strength of 2, willpower 3. He has rush, and then has the ability Game Jump. This character also counts as being named King Candy for Shift. He quests for 1.
Oh, interesting. Oh right, because that's remember they said the King Candy was Turbo in the game.
Yep.
Alive.
Yep.
That's like lore
Yep.
for the game or for the movie.
And then we've got Wreck-It Ralph himself, Demolition Dude.
Is
He's
he
punching something.
destroying the head? Or maybe the helmet.
I don't know what he's destroying.
No, it's the helmet of Turbo. Look.
It does look like that,
I don't know. It's kind of flowery. It's a 3-cost inkable, strength
Wait,
of
so
1.
King Candy's going to have a bloodborne.
Yep, that pretty much guarantees King
Yep.
Candy's going to have a bloodborne this set. Willpower 4, strength 1, quest for 1. Special ability is refreshing break. Whenever you ready this character, gain 1 lore for each damage on him.
Ooh.
So, interesting tactic that can be used. You put a bunch of lore on him, put a bunch of damage on him, get 3 damage on him somehow. You could ready him with like LeFou, or with some other people, and then heal him up with like Rapunzel and draw cards off him. So you get the lore, and then you heal him and get cards too. So there's some potential mischief here. Probably going to be kind of hard to pull off, but it's there. Up next, it's Donald Duck, the Pie Slinger.
Oh, and look.
It's a 5-cost inkable legendary card.
Yep.
It is 3 strength, 6 willpower. He is a Floodborn hero knight.
Why wasn't the other guy with Big tonight?
That's a good question. He is a knight because he's got that armor in front of him with the hidden Mickey on it. Quest for 1.
The stain.
The mustard
the mustard
stain.
stain is and I like how his sword is a whisk.
Yes. Has 2 abilities. First is Humble Pie. When you play this character, if you use Shift to play him, each opponent loses 2 lore.
Whoa.
So some more lore control there. And then Raging Duck. When an opponent has 10 or more lore, this character gets +6 strength.
Wow.
So late game plays, Donald can definitely make a difference here.
He's scary against my deck. Because I get up
Alright, let's move away from Ruby.
Prince John.
And we'll move over into some Sapphire cards.
It's the villainous man.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, precisely that. So this is Prince John. These are the 2 same cards if you're watching the video version. He's a 4-cost inkable Prince John Gold.
Yeah.
So he quests for 1 and then has the ability Beautiful, Lovely, taxes. You tap him, you play an item from your hand or discard. It costs 5 or less for free. It comes in exerted. So it's like a fishbone quill. It comes in already exerted. They can't use it right away.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's any other item like popsicles, the Fortisphere, all that stuff comes in. Even if it comes in exerted, you still get to draw your thing off of it. You just can't exert it.
In fact, you can play it from your discard. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Are these still basically just the same cards?
Yes, it's just one's a promo.
So one, the one on our right, but the person has his hand in it, because I couldn't find an image without the guy holding it, is the one that you're going to find in regular packs. The one on the left is a promo card. The art on here is pretty distinctive. Where have you guys seen that art before?
You already said. Where did you see that art before, Malcolm? In Villainous.
Right. So
and you notice how the lore is like white too instead of black?
That's always on promos.
Yeah. Well, no, you're pointing at the symbol. She's pointing at the lore pit.
The lore counter.
What how the promos kind of look like now. They kind of have that whitish look on the lore. That's something new was set for. Yay! So it looks like Villainous. That's because to get that version of the card, you have to buy the Villainous Introduction to Evil set that comes out in August.
Wait, is that the one with? Wait, is that the one with like the Ursula?
Yeah.
Yes, with the new rules and stuff.
With the new rules for those characters. So if you want that version of the card, you got to buy that game. We have every single part of Villainous except for like the
brand new one that just came out 2 days ago.
Yeah.
There's one.
The one with the
King
vanilla
Candy.
with King Candy.
Yeah.
Is there gonna be a King? Is there like King Candy?
That is kind of funny that
Yeah.
like King Candy Villainous comes out and they bring out all these cards with Wreck-It Ralph characters.
Yep. Yeah. No King Candy card this time. Well, we're sure it's coming, right? Because they have that one that's specifically for King Candy. So let's
And
take.
again, racetrack locations I feel like have to be coming.
Yeah. So if you want that special version of Prince John, you will have to buy Villainous. If you've never bought Villainous before,
I
highly
highly
recommend
recommend
it.
it. Great game.
Great game. You'll definitely have some fun.
Great family game.
Do we need it?
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
There's a good chance I'm going to talk myself into it, but we'll see. Make sure when you are buying it, if you are looking specifically for that card, there will be a sticker on it that says contains Lorcana card. Make sure you buy one of those. There was another set, the exact same set came out last year for the Disney 100. This set won't have the Disney 100 branding on it. It will have a sticker about the Lorcana card though, so make sure you buy the right one. Particularly be careful if you're buying it off of Amazon because who knows what you're going to get.
Who knows?
Looking forward, our next card, still
the
in
Great
Sapphire.
Illuminary.
It's a rare location. It's the Great Illuminary Radiant Ballroom. It's a 3-cost inkable, move cost of 2, willpower of 9. Has special ability Warm Welcome. Characters with support get +1 lore and +2 strength while here.
Okay.
So, probably the last time we will talk about this card.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Very, very specific. Support isn't played that much, but maybe someday it will be. Maybe this card will make it happen. Probably won't.
And maybe we'll be able to play what's it called? Work together with it.
Sure.
Yep. We'll bring those two together.
I guess yeah. You could give a character. I guess you can give any character support and get an extra lore off of them, but
finally.
Sure.
Maybe. I don't think it's gonna happen. Can we get the steel? That's what
nope. One more Sapphire card.
That's a
You've
cool
got Merlin, Intellectual Visionary, a 6-cost uninkable, strength of 3, willpower of 7, shifts for 5, quests for 2, special ability, overdeveloped brain. When you play this character, if you use shift to play him, you may search your deck for any card. Put that card into your hand, then shuffle your deck.
What?
You know what this?
Any card?
Any card.
You know what this reminds me of?
What does this remind you of?
So there's this one card in Pokemon cards called it's an Eevee and he has a special ability, Colorful Cleanse, and you can pick one Pokemon from each type in your deck and put it in your hand and then shuffle.
So that.
And there's so many Merlins if you're playing this with Amethyst.
With Goat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shifts on Goat, on Squirrel, on
All
Rabbit.
of them.
Wait, if you shift something on top
Crab.
of Go, will that count as a moving or not?
No.
But what if you
lose that
take
ability.
out him?
No.
With
No.
No, because once you shift on top of it, they lose all their.
abilities. So, because like sometimes there's like a bodyguard that when you shift him, he's no longer a bodyguard. Like the Plutos were like that. Or like the Pluto had the ability of where you could tap it to use it to get one
It's a
less
decent
cost.
question. Lots of people were asking that because the rabbit's no longer there. So do you
Right.
draw a card or what? So it's a weird situation, and the answer seems to be right now no, because they don't leave the field, but they also lose any of their abilities. So
Right.
yes, so you get to pick any card from your deck and then put it into your hand. And then you can play that card like right away. So right now, there's only one target that you can shift on in Sapphire. There's one Merlin in Sapphire.
Right.
yeah.
But if you played Sapphire Amethyst,
There's 5 in Amethyst.
There's 5 in
Right.
and
So-
they get and a lot of them get play.
Yes.
So-
The only thing is like what card are you bringing out? Because really, if you're looking at this, the most valuable card you can then grab and then have immediate impact on the board would be a song.
Right.
That's where I'm not sure of like, well, what card would you bring? That's a song.
Right.
Right.
Sure.
Because Amethyst and Sapphire don't really have a ton of great songs. I mean, there's you could grab Bosses on a Roll and sing that if you need one more lore.
So how much do you know how much the other Sapphire Merlin is?
I want to say 3 or 4.
So also kind of pricey, not like a 1 or 2 drop.
Yeah. I mean, you could do it
Maybe
with.
they're bringing in more, and we just haven't seen them yet.
I mean, something you could do, right? You could play it with Emerald, because you could shift them on Morph as well.
Oh, sure.
You shift them on Morph, you find, say, we don't talk about Bruno, and then you can use that to banish someone's card from their hand, from the board. So, because then, right, because once you put him out, he can sing a card immediately. If he's shifted,
right,
odds are he can sing then immediately. So that's where you're getting your most value.
Right.
So that's kind of the combo you're looking for. So
or one of those sing together cards, possibly. Yeah. Like this could be a way to get one of those sing together cards to work.
Sure. Right. Find this interesting together card and then have a couple people sing. So what you will hear, so this is another trading card game term, is what you will hear is that this card is a tutor. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't teach us anything. Right? But there was a card in Magic called Demonic Tutor that allowed you to find any card in the deck, bring it into your hand, so that you could then play it. So that's what this is based off of. Okay. So when you say, oh, the new Merlin is a tutor, that doesn't mean he's teaching Merlin stuff. That's a specific Magic term, so you may hear that going forward. Let's go over to Steel with a location. Badanon. So it's a 3-cost inkable, the Villain Support Center. 2 costs to move there, 7 willpower, gets 1 during upkeep. Special ability, there's no one I'd rather be than me. Villain characters gain tap and pay 3. You play a character with the same name as this character for free while here.
Not for free though, you're paying 3 ink.
Yeah. It's not great.
No.
Like if there's like a really small Hades, maybe that'd be nice to like only pay the 3 ink instead of the 7 to play him, right?
Or like Maleficent.
Maleficent, Ursula.
If you're playing the Amethyst Steel.
Yeah.
It costs 2 to use that.
Yeah,
it does.
It's really expensive to do, so I don't expect seeing very much there. But it is
inkable.
Yeah.
And you also get lore.
Yeah.
Or just having it there.
Yeah. But I don't know. It costs so much to use it. I don't. Like the Mickey Trumpeter never saw play, has a similar ability.
Right.
The Hades, the Emerald Hades that came out with F4 hasn't seen much play, has a very similar ability. So I don't see much happening here. But it's there now. Then we also have Kronk, Head of Security, a 7-cost uninkable. He's a Floodborn captain. Strength of 6, willpower 6, shifts for 5.
That's the wrong lever.
Quests for 1. And then the ability is, are you on the list? During your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may play a character with cost 5 or less for free. He is a big boy too at 6'6". You can play him on 5, shift him on top of another Kronk. On turn 5, have him attack most things. Most things will die to him.
Yeah.
He may get taken out by something too,
yeah,
but like if you're player facing like say like Robin Hood, right? He can take out a Robin Hood.
Yeah.
He can take out a Sad Beast. He can take out Maui if Maui's out there. Maui will take him out too, but he's taking out a Maui.
Yeah.
And then you're replacing him with anything cost 5 or less.
And yeah, and if you're using this against like little guys, he's living for 3-4 turns.
Yep.
Man, what if I had a little guy in the deck?
Anyways, so this seems like a pretty decent card to get some extra bodies on board. So I'm liking this one.
Yeah, I can see this getting played.
What is it, Malcolm?
He's just gonna thrust through my characters. And I'm gonna have nothing. And he's gonna have everything.
But he can't re-ready himself. He's gotta,
And he can't come out until turn 5. Sometimes you've won games by then.
That's very true.
That's only if they've gotten another Kronk out. And there's only there are other Kronks, but I don't think they get very much played. This was the end of the cards they showed during the Lorecast. That was the majority of the Lorecast, was just cards and announcing the new name. So that's where we've got for now, and that's probably what we're going to get for the next few weeks as we shift into set championship mode. And we move along with that. So, Shimmering Skies, first cards. What are you guys' thoughts?
Pretty cool, except for Clark, who's going to be the beta by existence.
Kronk is.
Okay. Oh, that Merlin seems pretty scary too.
Yeah, that Merlin. People are gonna find some interesting combos with him. We'll see what other
Yeah.
help.
I'm kind of I'm mad that the Donald's not in my colors.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is a cool card.
These new shiftables are going to be the beta of my existence.
But see, I feel like this Kronk, like in conjunction with Robin Hood, like.
Yeah.
Because Robin Hood costs 5 or less.
Yeah.
So
it works with a lot of great steel characters. You got the Robin Hood, you got the East, you got
and it's only a super
both
layer.
on turn 5, and you got another Kronk out there. So.
It's only a super layer.
Yeah, it's surprising this one's not legendary. This one has the feel of legendary.
Yeah.
So.
I could see this possibly being an enchanted though.
Yeah, it's got that kind of artwork on it that it can see enchanted. Kronk deserves an enchanted, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I hope it's him pulling the long lever. No, like, so it's the aftermath of this, because he's definitely pulling the long lever.
He is leaning on a lever.
Yeah, that's the point. Definitely the wrong lever. But he is suited up pretty nice for the head security. He's going to bounce you back to the end of the line for sure. What?
Was that a Lorcana joke?
I'm not sure. Was it?
You were saying bounce, like bouncing.
No, he's not going to bounce people back to your hand. He's just going to crush them in all your hopes and dreams at the same time.
Type question mark, please.
And shattered. So, cool new cards to come with. There are so many more cards still to come. That's less than 10% of the cards that we're going to get this set. So, lots more to come. Though we did see a whole lot of Ruby cards. So, if you were hoping to have some race-themed Ruby cards in your deck,
or if you play
you better wait. You gotta wait till set 6.
5.
Well, hopefully they'll have some other. I'm sure they'll have a bunch of other stuff coming. I'm sure there'll be some racers in other colors to kind of build some synergies. We got a lot more cards to see, and we will be covering those that are of interest on here. Not all of them. If you need all of them, there are other podcasts to listen to, not this one, to check out. So.
Trivia time?
It is trivia time. Let's head on in. From the wonderful world of Disney trivia, it is time to read these questions and get to wrapping things up. In the 2020 film Soul, what's the name of the realm where young souls get their personalities, preparing them for life on Earth?
I know this. Is this the Great? No,
The Great Beginning. The Beginning, or something like that. The Great Beginning. The Great Beyond?
I was hoping the question was going to be about 22.
The Great Beginning.
I don't know.
The Great Beyond.
The Great Beginning.
You're close. It's the Great Before.
The Great Before.
Because the Great Beyond is where the staircase led.
So the Great Before. Okay. All right. Good guesses.
Okay. Here we go. Name the comedian who voices the character of Clover, Sophia's pet rabbit, in the TV series.
Whoa!
Sophia
I
the First.
love Clover. I have no idea voices now.
I know who it is.
Blue ribbon bunny.
The blue ribbon bunny.
It's been too long.
His name is Wayne Brady.
That's correct. In Beauty and the Beast,
Yes.
what song does LeFou sing to cheer up Gaston after Belle refuses to marry him?
Gaston.
Beauty and the Beast.
Gaston.
What?
No. He sings Be Our Guest.
It's Gaston.
I think he sings the Clover song.
Gosh, it distracted me. I'm a blue ribbon bunny. Don't you know? I'm a blue ribbon bunny. The best in show. I'm a blue ribbon bunny.
we got 3 lines. That's good.
I know the whole song. I just don't want to take up the whole podcast.
Sure, that's it. All right, here's our favorite show. In Miley's Dream in Hannah Montana, her brother Jackson becomes a superstar with what stage name? A. Shaw, Arkansas. B. Dan, Montana. C. Dermot, Vermont. Or D. Bucky, Kentucky.
Bucky, Kentucky. I wanted to be Bucky, Kentucky so bad.
Well, you're in luck, because
Wait,
it
hey,
is
it's
Bucky, Kentucky.
Yes. Yes.
What's the final one?
Wow, I don't know how I pulled this card specifically. This is like considering. Okay, so hopefully you were paying attention to our card reveals.
Oh.
King Candy and Wreck-It Ralph is actually which character in disguise?
Oh, it's what's his name?
It's Turbo. He
Sophia
just
the Bus.
It's Turbo. Good job, Emmett. It's Turbo.
Sophia the First. King Candy dresses up as Sophia the First
Yes.
in Wreck-It Ralph.
Yes. Don't you remember that? No, it's Bowser. He dressed up as Bowser.
It's Bowser.
No.
So anyway,
Just
Emmett,
do
what is the
remember-
answer? Shh. What is the answer?
It's Turbo.
Turbo.
Yes, it is Turbo.
That's crazy. That you
That's
told
nuts.
that card.
Yeah, that has that specific answer, which I doubt any of us would have gotten.
I would have gotten it.
Just
No, there's
Would
no
not.
way.
Yes, I would have.
no, you were staring at the Turbo card like, what is a Turbo?
And
Like,
I literally
that
just
was
answered
him.
Sophia the
No,
First.
you're like, dude, why is that Turbo? I don't get it.
That is not what I know.
That is totally what you sounded like.
Totally,
15 minutes, you're like,
dude.
Totally, no.
Turbo.
Man,
I know what it is.
can't wait till we get. Okay, you went from being like Crush to having a Southern accent. I don't know where that went.
They're the same.
Eating
They're not.
12
Surfer dude and Southern are not the same accent.
12 minutes
If
later.
you look at the etymology of the accents of the Southern Coast and surfer culture.
Why are you looking at this? And that is the podcast for the day.
Yes, that brings us to a close. Come to us for all your dialect coaching.
Please don't.
You can ask us any questions you want about dialect at QuestLorequestions at gmail.com. You can find us on all sorts of social media, on the Twitter, or what was once Twitter and is now X, on the Instagrams.
Yes, we're on the Instagrams now. Come find us.
We posted a couple things. We are old, so it's hard to use some of this stuff, but we are trying our best. Anyways,
We might get on the Tiki Takis one of these days.
Yeah, as long as it survives. I hear someone's coming after it.
The YouTube.
Well, yeah, we've been on the YouTubes for forever.
Anyways, if you have any questions, questlorequestions at gmail.com. If you are listening to an audio version and say, boy, I wonder what those people would look like, you can find us on YouTube at QuestLore over on YouTube. If you're on YouTube and say, I have had enough of staring at these people, you can find us on all major podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, all those good ones out there, whatever your podcatcher of choice is. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you had fun. I know we did. And until next time, have a pleasant week.
I want to set